So, it's 2:22 in the morning, and I am feeling the need to just drop some fucking knowledge on you guys, because I just don't give a damn about TikTok followers and likes anymore, so I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. So, your brain, psychologically, is so smart, it will bring up these subconscious shields that you might not even realize that you're doing, and it can come in the form of, like, pushing people away, corruptive relationships, corrosive self-negative thoughts, anything like that. But what sucks about that, like I said, is that you won't even be aware that you're doing it. And other people around you will be all aware that you're doing it, but will never tell you that you're doing it. So when this happens, you'll start to notice little things happening, like friends will sort of dissolve out of your life, your relationships will deteriorate a little bit. There's an answer. Well, the underlying reason is overactive, anxious minds cause subconscious, but conscious level overthinking, and habitual patterns like recursive loops. To snap yourself out of this, say, I love you. Welcome to part 3. The topic of spiritual shields is such a fascinating subject to study once you understand what it is and how it affects you, once you start to kind of like embolden and empower your own spiritual shields. You learn that you get to be able to resist people a lot easier, and negative things just stop right in their tracks, right in front of you. It's amazing. So what everybody has to realize about spiritual subconscious shields is that by the time our eyeballs and we perceive our reality, it has already been manifested, which means technically what we experience is in the past, and what we sense is happening in the present. So when people say trust your gut intuition and all that kind of stuff, that's kind of what they mean. Side note, once you start trusting your intuition more, it literally starts to learn how to speak English to you almost. Another added bonus is your friends start to look like either reptilian or they start to look like angelic, how they're supposed to be. Part 4. So far, we've covered 3 subjects: what spiritual shields are, the positive benefits of understanding what your spiritual shields are, and the negative aspects of not understanding what your spiritual shields are. I can always go into further detail in sub-videos for those, it's no big deal. So to quote Sigmund Freud, in his psychoanalytic theory of personality, the unconscious mind is a reservoir of feelings, thoughts, urges, or memories that exist outside of our conscious awareness. But to him, most of this stuff was negative, like anxiety, pain, conflict, and all that kind of stuff. But what if I also told you there was a positive benefit to that as well? Because Sigmund Freud also believed in psychoanalytic dream interpretation. What is that, you might ask? Freud believed that certain parts of your brain were responsible for controlling the drives, the impulses, the fears, the instincts, the emotions, the reflexes, and most of your subconscious processes. And that by studying your dreams, you would be able to better understand the unconscious mind. Welcome to part 5! Getting back on the topic with those spiritual shields again. So, if you remember in Harry Potter, Professor Snape teaches Harry about occlumancy. Occlumancy was the direct counter to legilimency. And legilimency was basically magically navigating through another person's mind to verify thoughts. So that means that by definition, occlumancy is the shielding of one's mind from outside invasions and influences. And if you remember from a past video, I said that everything that we see and experience with our eyes is technically in the past, and what our intuition is sensing is actually in the present. This means that by the time our spiritual shields and subconscious have interpreted the vibrations coming at us from our previous thoughts, that it's already preparing us for what's about to come next. Have you ever heard of a mathematical concept called compounding interests? Because the attitudes of gratuity and positivity multiply on those same principles. There is so much more I could say about this particular spiritual shield, but that's all I can say for now. And we're back with part 6. The next shield we're going to talk about is your spiritual growth shield. Buckle up. This shield's particular growth rate and protection level are in direct proportion to your first shield, the occlumantical shield. Don't forget that. Once you learn more and more about these shields, you kind of start to see how each shield layers to the next shield. By learning how to protect your mind from outside invasions, you're actually protecting your own spiritual growth by not letting outside negative energies affect how you think and perceive the world. This kind of also pertains to how I said people will just naturally dissolve and come in and out of your life. And it's also why a lot of success gurus talk about don't listen to the naysayers. It's because they're talking about your spiritual shield to, like, I'm rubber, you're glue. The most direct way to harness this shield's power is to follow your intuitive calling nature, whatever your passions are. Learn to identify the things that you're good at or follow a common pattern of things that you have done well. Learn to act on these and watch your life directly change as the universe unfolds in front of you.